Hey, this is Sully for antisocialnews.com, and I'm going to be running down some of the major life or death news issues around the world. This is Tuesday, July 18th, 2017, and this is the body count report. All right. Let's get back to this. Fatah calls for a day of rage in Israel over Israel trying to protect the Temple Mount from them because them and wonderful people like them have been murdering people at the Temple Mount. There was an issue I covered yesterday of Palestinians killing two Druze Israeli police officers, and so now they are going to be protesting Israel, noticing that they, that there's a huge security issue and putting security there at the Temple Mount. That's they're just geniuses. I like to you're protesting security. So in order to show that the security is unnecessary, you're going to do all the things that will cause everyone to realize that all those security measures are 100% valid. So good for you guys. You guys are absolute geniuses. Okay. Moving on. Okay, now this is a very interesting one. This is in Pakistan, and what we're looking at here is that the Sindh and Balochistan people are standing up to the Pakistani government, and we are seeing mass protests. They're standing up to what they are accusing the Pakistani government of is extrajudicial killings. So this could be a pretty big human rights issue. Hundreds of activists of the Jai Sindh Mutahida Mahaz, a banned Sindh organization in Pakistan, recently participated in a march in Hyderabad to demand independence for Sindh province and the release of Sindh political activists abducted by the Pakistani army and its Inter-Services Intelligence, or ISI, wing. This article covers a lot of the struggles, and if you want to sort of try to put this in American perspectives, these are the native people of the land. So these are the native people of the Hindu Kush of the Pakistani area there. So keep that in mind. And they're butting heads with the Muslim government of Pakistan, which is not native. Islam is not native to Pakistan. So keep that in mind. It's kind of what we're seeing here in America, where you had a predominantly Anglo-Christian government butting heads with Native Americans. These cultural equivalencies always break down, but remember that these are native people when you're talking about the Kurds in Iraq and Syria, when you're talking about some of these Aryan tribes in Pakistan. So yeah, try to keep everything in some sort of perspective. All right. Links to that in the description. Check that story out. It even covers extrajudicial killings. All right. This is the Philippines. The Congress is set to extend martial law. President Duterte's proposal to extend martial law in Mindanao is suspend the privilege of habeas corpus for 5 months will be readily approved by Congress Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez of Davao del Norte, predicted on Tuesday. Now, this story is about what's going on in the Philippines, which we brought up in the last one. There is a lot of conflict there in Mindanao against groups that are now officially associating themselves with ISIS. So Maute. So this is a pretty hot and heavy situation. Now, the situation in the Philippines started with the president talking a hard line against drug dealers, and there was always been some issues with Muslim separatists in Mindanao. But now that ISIS has become very popular, they have associated themselves with ISIS, the Muslim separatists there. So this is a fascinating story. Read the whole thing. Talks about why it's still critical. Honestly, it'll blow your mind when you start realizing how big this freaking world is and the actual situations that are going on. This is one that this is the one situation that we do talk about in the West. So we have Mosul in ruins. I only see despair around us. Soldiers have been working to save civilians still trapped among the rubble in Iraq's second largest city. Let's see here. So, Iraqi soldier Osama el-Umani now guards the area around Al-Nuri Mosque, where Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi announced the creation of the group's caliphate in the summer of 2014. It covers just some of the in-depth look. There's also some pictures here. This is Al Jazeera. A sniper for the Iraqi Army's Emergency Response Division fires at ISIL fighters in western Mosul from eastern bank of the Tigris since January. The river has divided the city into ISIL-controlled and government-controlled sides. I hate ISIL. I hate the term ISIL because it demeans our ally Israel. It's intentionally meant to mean our ally Israel. Oh, did it not? Okay, good. Let's see if it did. All right, so we are going to move on to the last story. The last story here. The Chicago police are looking for a criminal who shot a 62-year-old Marine Corps veteran. This is police are asking for the public's help in finding a suspect who shot and killed 60-year-old U.S. Marine Corps veteran during an attempted robbery early Saturday in the East Garfield Park neighborhood on the west side. Robert Sharp was walking on the sidewalk at 4:55 a.m. in the 400 block of North Kedzie to go to dialysis treatment for diabetes when an armed man confronted him and demanded his money, according to Chicago police and the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. Sharp refused to give up his wallet, and the suspect shot him in the left shoulder before running away. East on Franklin, authorities said. Sharp of West Garfield Park was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was announced dead at 5:43 a.m. Authorities said. Police said he was a Marine veteran. Suspect was described as a black male between 5 to 10 and 6 feet tall with a medium complexion. Police said he was wearing a white half mask with red on it and was armed with a chrome-plated revolver. Anyone with information is asked to call Area North detectives at 312 744-8261. And there is a button for you to take action. If you know anything about the case, help them out. Also, there's going to be a link about the ongoing violence around the election in Venezuela. So there's going to be a link in there in the news article to help out in the case. If you know anything about the Chicago case, it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. This situation in Venezuela is one that I touched on yesterday. So there's a more in-depth article about some of the upcoming protests reported by the Irish Times. So very interesting. Talks about the body count right there. That's disgusting. I really would like to see success for our neighbors here in the Western Hemisphere. So and peace. So that being the case, I am going to sign off. I'd like to remind everyone that free speech is important. The First Amendment is important because all speech is offensive to somebody. Follow us on Anti-Social News at Twitter. Like us on Facebook, antisocialnews.com. And subscribe to us here on YouTube. This has been Sully for Antisocial News. Keep talking it out.